maybe for the first time since 2017, we're going to have up to 5 Canadian teams in the playoffs, which is great. And I said, listen, the more tickets you buy to the raffle, the better chance you have at winning the prize. But realistically, out of Winnipeg, Toronto, and I'm definitely going to forget a team, Ottawa, Montreal, and say Calgary.
Ooh, Edmonton, forgotten. Too bad.
There you
Too
go.
bad
I
for
knew I was going to
Edmonton.
forget a team in Edmonton. So 6 teams. Maybe Toronto, Winnipeg, and Edmonton are the only true contenders, I would think. I mean, it's hard putting the Leafs in there, I know.
Yeah.
But who do you see out of those three? Maybe those six. Maybe you got another team that I'm not really talking about that can make a deep run and potentially win this thing.
I would lean towards the Canadian team that has shown they're the most consistent throughout the regular season, and I would say the Winnipeg Jets. And I'm
Ooh,
gonna give you a reason that scientifically does not make sense because
okay.
over the last couple of postseason runs, it has not worked out. But the Winnipeg Jets have the best goaltender in the world, Connor Hellebuck. Now you're going to tell me, oh, but he's been so terrible in the postseason these last two runs. Yes, Albert, indeed he has. In fact, more stats for you here. A 2-8 record with a 4.28 goals against, 8.75 save percentage over
Mhm.
his last two postseasons. Now, I'm not a math guy, but that's no good as far as I'm concerned. This season, he's also having the best season of his career, leading the league in goals against, save percentage, shutouts, wins. On pace for his best season of his career and on pace to win a third Vesna. At some point, I'm just betting that he will come through. I'm going to keep throwing ish at the wall, and eventually it's going to stick with Connor Hellebuck, I think. He's the best goalie in the league, the best goalie in the world. Eventually, it's got to work. There's not a lot of science behind that other than just he's got to break through at some point. And when you show me a hot goaltender, I'll show you a Stanley Cup champion. Look at the last however friggin' many Stanley Cup winners have had hot
Every
goaltenders.
every Stanley Cup winner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Connor Hellebuck gets hot. The Winnipeg Jets can win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Listen, I've been on the record for saying this. The only thing that could hold back the Jets is if Connor Hellebuck isn't Connor Hellebuck. If he's Connor Hellebuck, there's no reason why they can't win the Stanley Cup. But they are in the West, Mickey. I mean,
It's
okay,
tough.
they finished first. Maybe if let's say St. Louis leapfrogs
Minnesota.
Minnesota and Winnipeg gets Minnesota, or they get the Calgary Flames or the St. Louis Blues. That's a tough first round matchup, but a winnable matchup for the Winnipeg Jets. After that, Colorado, Dallas, and then you're meeting Edmonton or Vegas or the Kings in the final. It's a tough path. And you look at the East, if the Leafs win the Atlantic Division, favorable matchup against the Ottawa Senators, let's say they win that thing, they get one of the Florida teams after a first round series where the Panthers and Lightning beat the shit out of each other. So advantage Leafs, maybe. This is all, I'm just speaking out
Theoretical.
here.
Yeah.
And then in the conference final, who are you waiting for? Carolina, Washington. The path is so much easier for an Eastern Conference team. So I'm
Mhm.
not going to say the Leafs are going to go win the Stanley Cup, but based on the path and how I see things playing out, it just favors the Toronto Maple Leafs. But yeah, the Winnipeg Jets, man, you have the best goalie in the world. Figure out in the playoffs, and you can't stop that team. They have defense. They can roll all four lines. They got Kyle Connors doesn't stop scoring. Mark Shapley's having a career year. Velarde's hurt now, but he's a god on the power play. Josh Morrissey, they got everything. It's just the goaltending, Mickey.
And I think that you can make the same argument that I'm making for the Jets if Anthony Stolars or Joe Wall,
Yeah,
whomever takes the reins heading into round one, gets hot. You've
yeah,
seen Stolars get hot. He was really, really hot at the start of the season. Not saying that he's bad right now, but he's certainly not the world beater he was when the season started. Still good, though. Still able to make some key saves. The Leafs get a goaltending performance like that, they could go on. This is a super, super easy hypothetical to throw down for any team.
yeah.
The Habs get in. Sam Montembeau, all of a sudden, yeah, if he gets hot, then look out. You could say that for literally any team.
Mm.
But for me, with the Jets, I've seen the evidence of Connor Hellebuck being the best goaltender in the world over long, long stretches, and he's never played better than he is right now. And I'm just hedging It's just got to happen eventually. But I agree with you that the path is easier in the East because you're going to see a first round matchup between Colorado and Dallas, which is not fair.
That's
And then whoever
ridiculous.
is ridiculous. Whoever
Yeah.
comes out of that series could be your Stanley Cup champion right there.
Yeah.
It could be that simple. But I Winnipeg, this could be your time. This could be your, as Triple H's theme song in the late '90s, early 2000s suggested. It's my time. In this case, the Winnipeg Jets.
What a way to end it, Kevin Michie, in the only way Kevin Michie can. Dude, thanks so much for doing this. Where can everyone follow you and see your work before you get out of here?
Appreciate it, Albert. Just Twitter at Kevin Michie, Instagram. Trying to be a content guy on Instagram now. I don't know. We'll see if that works out. At Kevin Michie as well. TikTok at Kevin44Michie. I do TikTok shit as well. That should be fun.
There you go. Content guy Kevin Michie. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.